Are you looking for one of the lightest packs available while still having a full frame and excellent ventilation? If so, the Osprey Levity 60 might be worth your pick. That's next. Welcome to Backcountry Renegade, I'm Jeff. Today we're looking at the Osprey Levity 60. This is a very popular pack by Osprey that is meant to go super ultra light for those who have a base weight of maybe around 10 pounds, 12 pounds max. This is a great way to top off your set of backpacking. It's ultra light. It is a minimalist pack, so you don't have all the bells and whistles that you typically have with Osprey packs, but you do save a lot of weight, just under 2 pounds, yet you have 60 liters of space to use. Pretty amazing. It's also one of the most comfortable packs I've ever worn, being fully framed, excellent ventilation, and lightweight. Let's check it out in more detail and see that next. Now, the Osprey Levity series comes in either a 45 liter or a 60 liter pack size. This one here is the 60 liter pack size. The women's version is called the Lumina series. Now, the Levity comes in either a small, medium, or large, depending on your torso size. This one here is a small. Now, the small version weighs in under 1.87 pounds, or that's 29.98 ounces. So pretty amazing to have a pack of this size able to be under 2 pounds. The small version here is also more like 58 liters than the 60 advertised. The dimensions are 26.38 inches in height, 15.75 inches in width, and 12.99 inches in diameter. The recommended load carry is 15 to 25 pounds, and it's comfortable in any of that weight range. This is a pack for people who already have other ultralight gear dialed in already, and they just are looking for a nice, comfortable, lightweight pack for that. Now, the fabric material is where this really stands out. It is a 30 denier Cordura sil nylon ripstop. The accents are NanoFly, which is 210 denier nylon by 200 denier UHM WPE. The bottom is also this same NanoFly hybrid material. Now, this is a really durable material that by integrating complementary high performance fabrics, Osprey is able to ensure that this series is able to hold the weight and durability. This NanoFly fabric is something that integrates this UHM WPE ripstop and the Cordura nylon, that's creating a really nice fabric that is lightweight but also abrasion resistant. This UHM WPE material is a very strong material. It's actually the source material for Dyneema and Spectra fibers. It stands for ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. And this is a material that's commonly used in bullet resistant products, and it's also water resistant to an extent, as it was used in sailboats at one point. It's a very sturdy, durable material that is used here, able to withstand abrasion. So Osprey did an excellent job by integrating this material with their nylon into this pack. So the end result is you have a super strong material while also saving a lot of weight. This pack sells for $270 on Osprey.com and is backed by the Osprey Almighty Guarantee. So starting in the back, we see what really makes this frame nice and functional. It has the Exoform harness and the airspeed ventilated suspension system that really helps to distribute weight into the hips. Now, this airspeed suspension is one of my favorite suspension systems, and as you can see, it creates this trampoline-like effect where it keeps the pack away from your back, creating this space in between that allows for airflow and excellent ventilation. It also does a good job of separating the pack from your back to relieve you from any unnecessary pressure points that there might be. This is a very comfortable airspeed suspension that is very ventilated and does a good job of staying nice and comfy. It is a pliable light wire alloy peripheral frame that goes all the way into the bottom of the pack. It also bows out a bit to allow you to hug your hips really nicely. The frame is also very flexible, so you don't want to put heavy loads on it, but it does a good job forming to your body and is able to move with your body pretty easily, so it's not super stiff. But because it is flexible, you don't want to overload it. If you go over 25 pounds, the flex in the frame will cause it to compress, and it won't be able to distribute the weight as efficiently. So be wary about the weight that you put in this. It is a very lightweight backpack meant for lightweight loads. Looking at the hip belt, you can see this is very minimal as an effort to reduce weight. And you can see a very thin material here, a very thin cushion. Also, they do have some ventilation in here as well with the mesh. And it's very minimal, just does the job of putting the pack next to your hips and helping distribute the weight, but you don't have any hip belt pockets, so something to keep in mind. Now, if that's a deal breaker for you, maybe you look at a different pack that does have hip belts. But for me, this isn't something that was a deal breaker for me because I do also have fanny packs, and if you have a fanny pack with this, it really makes up for not having the hip belt pockets. The straps here are also a lot thinner than you see on some of the typical Osprey packs. It starts off here with two cords here, and then it goes into one. Now to tighten it, you would normally just buckle your buckle together, and then you have to pull the cords to you towards your body rather than the other way like you would for some traditional hip belts. So it does take a little bit of getting used to, but not that bad. Looking at the shoulder straps are also very thin in an effort to save weight. Now they do have sufficient padding for where you need it, so you do have some nice cushion. It is ventilated as well, as it rests right on your shoulders. Now once it gets down towards your chest area where you normally don't need a lot of padding, it is very thin, as you can see there. Does still have nice ventilation into the shoulder straps. Another thing about the shoulder straps is they are not adjustable. These are actually sewn into the frame here, and so you cannot move them up or down depending on your torso size like you can many of the other Osprey packs. So in an effort to save weight, they just sewn it in. So make sure you go and get sized beforehand before you commit, because it is sewn, so if it doesn't fit, you likely have to go with a different pack. You also have your load lifter adjuster straps, which is a really nice feature, especially on an ultralight pack like this. Normally you do not have these load lifter adjusters on ultralight packs. So nice little feature here to make the pack come closer to your back or further away depending on what you are doing. You also have your built-in chest strap. Now, unlike other versions where you can move it up and down, you actually have these little cords that you have to take it out and put it on a different cord if you do want to move it. So in an effort to save weight, they decided to go that route. You also have your built-in integrated whistle here at the top to where you could have it for emergencies if needed. You also have your water bladder port access here right at the top to where if you have a water bladder inside, the cord can come out and go through your shoulder strap here, which is a pretty nice feature, and then the tube can come out there to give you direct access. One thing to also take note of is with the Levity series, you also lost the stow on the go trekking pole holder attachment. Normally you'd have a little cinch cord here, and then on the other side an area to hold your trekking poles. You do not have that with the Levity series. Looking at the top, you can see it is a top loader with a top lid. Now the top lid is really nice, and as you can see, the material is very thin up here with this nylon here. Taking the top lid, you can see it comes unbuckled. The straps are also very thin, but it comes unbuckled very nicely. You also have a big pocket here in the back where you can store a lot of your things. And like your traditional Osprey packs, you do have your little key holder here where you can store a lot of things in there. Now, one thing about the Levity series is while it does have a top lid, the top lid is sewn in to the pack, so it is not removable. As a result, you do not have any flap jacket cover that would come up if you decide to go without the lid, because it's not needed, obviously, since you cannot take off the lid. As you can see, the contents inside, it's very roomy and very spacious inside. You do have your water bladder pocket up here with an attachment point as well. So pretty nice inside, lots of room inside. Now, it also gave you a drawstring cord in order to close it. So a little bit different feature than you typically see. To open it, you just pull up here and it comes open very easily. But notice on a lot of their straps, they also went with these draw cords rather than using actual straps. So something to do as an effort to save weight. Another thing you do have is you do have this compression cord where you can compress your load down and get it all nice and tight once you have it packed. Now notice one thing that's a little bit different is the attachment point is outside of the main compartment, which is a little weird because typically you have it on the inside in the traditional other Osprey packs, but you do have that nonetheless, so it is a nice feature. So you can cinch it down once you tie everything up and you are good to go. Also, looking at the front, you also have this front pocket here. Now this is a front pocket made of the material here. You do have your clip to open it up. One thing you notice is this is not going to be stretch mesh. So you are limited to what you can put in here. You don't have it like the typical packs where you have stretch mesh where you can just load it with a lot of stuff. Now, because they use such thin materials as 30 denier ripstop nylon here, they wanted to protect it, so they put this material over it, which you can see. And but as a result, you don't have your stretch mesh pockets, so you are kind of limited with what all you can store in there. So if you are really loading out your pack, you will be limited. You won't be able to fit a ton of stuff, but nevertheless, you can fit some nice stuff in there. Another thing that you see on this pack is the straps are very thin and as an effort to save weight. And one of the cool things with the Levity series that you see is you do kind of have this daisy chain kind of like strap here on both sides to where you can either integrate more draw cord and cinch it in to tie down loads that might be wet, or you can just have some other attachment points such as carabiners and things to attach some things as well to the front. So a nice little feature there. One thing that you do see is you do not have a sleeping bag compartment here on the bottom, nor do you have your typical sleeping pad holder straps. Now they do have some of the cinch cord that goes inside here that you can pull out, and you can tie it down here to these actual points here to give yourself a little bit of a padding, and they can tighten up here as well. So a little bit of some attachment points if you do want to have a sleeping pad that you want to attach to the outside. It is very minimal, again, as an effort to save weight, but it is a feature that is there as well to know. Looking at the sides, you can see that material that they have, this hybrid material, is a nice material, and they also used it to integrate it into the pockets. So you don't have your stretch mesh pockets, it's just this material, and they're big, they're long. You can really fit a lot of things in here. You can fit your tall water bottles in here. You also have access to get it from the side, your water bottle from the side or from the top. So a nice little feature there. As you can see, the compression straps are just really drawstring that you have. So in an effort to save weight, they do only go inside the pockets. So something to keep in mind with that. They are removable if you choose to remove them, but I don't see why you wouldn't want to just keep them on there for some extra attachment points. Let's consider some of the pros. First of all, obviously it's lightweight. It comes on under 2 pounds, which is almost unheard of for a fully framed pack with excellent ventilation. It is very thin material, but it is durable material that you have to back that up with this NanoFly technology. It is water repellent to an extent. However, because you do have some nylon, you will still need a pack cover. But it is a very nice pack. It's one of the most comfortable packs I've ever worn because it does have this excellent airspeed suspension system. One of my favorite suspension systems by Osprey. It keeps the pack away from your back for a while. It relieves any unnecessary tension points. So let's consider the cons. First off, it's pretty expensive. Coming on at about $270, you do have to drop a pretty penny for this pack. Second, it is a minimalist pack, so you don't have all the necessary bells and whistles, but you do have a lot of cool features still, like pockets. You also have a front pocket. You also have the airspeed suspension system. So pretty cool considering it is a minimalist pack. Another con about it is you cannot remove the top lid, like the Exos where you can remove it. The Levity decides to keep it sewn in, so it is not removable. Another con is the shoulder straps are also sewn in, so it's not adjustable depending on your torso size. So something really want to get fitted before you dive in and commit. Another con about it is while they do use the awesome NanoFly technology, they went ahead and put that over all the pockets and everything, rather than using stretch mesh. So you don't have as much stretchability or versatility when you use these pockets. I would have really loved to at least see stretch mesh on the front, but because they're using such a thin nylon material at 30 denier, they had to protect it. So they used this material in its place. Another con about it is rather than using your typical compression straps like you might see on the Exos series, they went with this compression cord instead, and it really doesn't do the job. When I tighten it, it seems to stay all loose and everything, and might as well just take it off and save extra weight, especially if you're looking at getting this pack to stay under 2 pounds anyways. Might as well just take it off because it doesn't seem like it's doing the job that it's intended to do. You can see they continue to use that draw cord even here on the sleeping pad, and It doesn't seem much versatile. It's just hard to tighten it as well. I would have loved to see it stay with either the clips like you see on the Stratos, or with the Exos, where you do have a little bit more cord there for you to work with and to tighten. That would have been cool to see, but understandable because they're trying to be minimal and save weight. Another con about it that I didn't really like is the color. You have one color option, and I'm not a big fan of this. It looks pretty plain, looks pretty dull. It doesn't stand out at all, really. And it is see-through in some of this nylon area where it's super thin. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a big fan, actually, and I would have loved to have maybe a couple other color options. So what did you think of the Osprey Levity 60? Is this something you'd go with? If not, what would you choose in its place? Leave me a comment in the comment section. If you like what you saw, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe for more content like this, and as always, thanks for watching.